in that jam. They now lead it by 50. 77-25. As once again, we'll see Fancy Nancy go up against Tipsy Velvet. And we saw Tipsy Velvet last time. Nobody was able to take her out. She really moves through that pack well.
She is impossible to move. She's like a pillar. You can't move that without a lot of effort.
So now the jam has begun. Each team has one blocker in the penalty box, and there go the jammers. Fancy Nancy is going to try and get to the outside. She pushes her way off her own blockers, then gets sandwiched between two of her own blockers.
It's a no-pack, so she makes it through. They can't hit her on a no-pack. She has lead jam status.
Molly Millions, lead jammer, and as she sees Tipsy Velvet coming up behind her.
And she's calling it off just before anything else can happen.
So now into the final 8.5 minutes of this first half. It's 77-25 in favor of the Shipyard Sirens.
Nessa Quick taking the line against Rainbow Fight once again.
So Rainbow Fight, after having a few jams to sit down and have a rest, she'll be back out there and try and get the jams back into this one.
Looks like it's an official timeout. See what they're doing. It's actually quite notable. One of the referees out there, number 60, No Ref FX, he is from Royal City Rollers, Guelph, Ontario. He came out here to help with this competition.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
That is. We have another one as well, who is actually on the track right now. I believe he's from Ontario as well, Epic Phil.
So not only are the roller girls from everywhere, but the officials are too, as Nessa Quick, great move to the inside, showing that she is very quick. So two blockers in the box for the jams to begin this one, and Nessa Quick.
Nessa Quick calls it off before she can get attacked by Rainbow Fight.
And she knows Rainbow Fight is fast as well and will not have much trouble catching up to her.
Searching her out or hitting her as much as possible. It seems to be Rainbow Fight's strategy.
So now Rainbow Fight will go up against Fancy Nancy. Both jammers have done an excellent job here in the early stages of the first half. About 7.5 minutes to go.
Fancy Nancy going up against Rainbow Fight.
Rainbow Fight, who just continues to stay on the track, jam after jam. Not showing any quit. Rainbow Fight trying to make a move to the outside, and back inside, she is awarded
jammer status for her.
Lead jammer, great job at Fancy Nancy, shortly behind her. Fancy Nancy.
She is giving up her own.
And
she calls it off just before.
So good
Fancy Nancy actually didn't take anything from her. She just was like, nope, you're not going to get me down.
So no points put up there. Good decision by Rainbow Fight.
Yep. Take a look at that. See, Fancy Nancy is not letting up, but neither is Rainbow Fight, so she calls it off as soon as she gets past.
And both two very fast jammers, both know how to hit, and with great moves. And now you see Chill and Villain will go up against Rainbow Fight.
Chill and Villain takes the inside and becomes your lead jammer status. And
a great move by Chill and Villain. She saw that space to the inside of the track, and she zoomed right through there, and she has a bit of room behind her and Rainbow Fight. Now Chill and Villain moves
she's
through the
calling
pack
it off right
off.
before Rainbow Fight can even make it to the pack.
So that'll put up some points for the Shipyard Sirens as well. A great jam by Chill and Villain.
This is a very fast game. All the jams are being called off early. Strategic reasons in particular.
Still just about 5 minutes to go in the first half, and as you mentioned, very quick jams here. Tipsy Velvet going up against Molly Millions as jammers. Still 2 blockers in the penalty box for the Jams, and now we see one.
One is coming back onto the track. They're going to move really slowly so that she can catch up.
So now as she makes her way back on, we can expect to see them go momentarily.
No pack, so the Jammers are released.
Joan Gillen gets stopped behind 2 blockers. Tipsy Velvet trying to work her way through.
Molly Millions coming up from behind.
And it is Tipsy Velvet who is declared lead jammer.
Molly Millions has much more speeds though, so she can make it in front.
And that speed from Molly Millions definitely really forced Tipsy Velvet to
call it off early before anyone could score points.
So in the past few jams, we haven't seen as much scoring as we did in the early jams.
They keep on calling it off too early.
So at the same time, if you're the jams, you do like to see that, seeing as how you're down by several points. And if you're the Sirens, well, already up by that many points, just add as many as you can without giving up any points. So now you see Fancy Nancy once again go up against Tipsy Velvet. It looks like Fancy Nancy
is #1, using her speed as a benefit, that's for sure.
And definitely a big advantage here against Tipsy Velvet. That is,
she's having huge problems making it through the pack.
Tipsy Velvet now getting stuck behind 2 more blockers. As Fancy Nancy once again makes her way through, puts up more points. As finally Tipsy Velvet is out of the pack for the first time, as they're going to put an end to that jam. Fancy Nancy saw
calls it off.
Tipsy Velvet coming up behind her.
Neither team got any points there.
Actually, the Shipyard Sirens did put up that 5 on the.
Oh, nice.
On that pass that Fancy Nancy got. So those are the kind of jams you want if you're the Sirens.
Exactly.
Not allowing the jams to get any points of their own. And a very low scoring first half, especially on the part of the jams. Only 25 points closing in on the 3-minute mark. Nessa Quick and Cemetery Jane. We've seen both of them.
They've both been doing a really good job. We'll see. I think they're about the same
Both very quick jammers, and it's Nessa Quick who has a slight advantage right out of the gate, and she makes a nice move to the outside.
Oh, but Rainbow Fight is putting up a good fight. Searching her out into the back of the track.
Rainbow Fight putting up a rainbow quality fight, as now you see a great move there.
Which gives Cemetery Jane lead jammer status, making it through the pack first.
Nessa Quick is having quite a bit of troubles there. She gets a good move
she
to the outside. She's through. Cemetery Jane has some time to maybe score some points, though. She tries to work her way through, and she will get through.
Whips it out. And she's calling it off before Nessa Quick can even make it to the pack.
So the Jams put up some points there. Put up 4, and now it's 86 to 29.
Getting close to the end of the first half, just over 2 minutes left.
This first half just lasting over 40 minutes. And here you'll see that was Cemetery Jane getting that nice move. And
she gets whipped up front so that she can get even further, and she calls it off.
So now once again it's Cemetery Jane, this time against Fancy Nancy, and it's Fancy Nancy.
Fancy Nancy just took her out a little bit. Cemetery Jane's not having any luck. She keeps on falling, and Fancy Nancy is your lead jammer.
A beautiful start for Fancy Nancy.
Exactly.
Throwing Cemetery Jane to the ground after getting off that jammer line. Not only that, but she gets lead jammer, and now she works up the rear of the pack.
The pack saw her, so it's going to be really hard for her to get through. It's a full pack.
Fancy Nancy.
Ooh, up against Rainbow Fight.
And she makes it
made it through.
Dodges a big hit from Rainbow Fight. That one would have hurt, but Fancy Nancy scores the points, dodges the hit, and once again she'll work up the rear of the pack.
Fancy Nancy's coming up on the pack. Rainbow Fight's trying to clear the way for their jammer. Does it? As she searches herself out.
Excellent job, both ends, not only as jammer, but also as blocker. As there you see Fancy Nancy puts an end to that jam. Now
Shipyard Sirens scoring a bunch of points there.
And now potentially the final jam. of the first half now, 95-29 for the Shipyard Sirens. Chillin' Villain, and it looks like
Molly, no?
this is
Oh,
Chillin' Villain
okay.
going up against
Number 3, Bashley Banks.
Bashley Banks. This is her first time today as jammer. She'll go up against Chillin' Villain. Bashley Banks and Chillin' Villain both stuck in the middle of the pack. Still trying to make their way through.
Bashley makes it through. She is not your lead jammer. Oh, yes, she is. All right.
And Bashley Banks showing that even though it's her first time, she knows how to get it done. Chillin' Villain shortly behind her. And she's going to call that one off.
Ouch. But she's back up. No worries.
It's now 96-29. And it looks like the officials are talking things over to see if
the first half, I believe, might be done. Yep, that's the whistle. The first half is up.
And that's it, 96-29 after one half of play. And we definitely saw some dominating work from the Shipyard Sirens. And we'll be back with more Roller Girls Out East action here on Rogers TV.
LBR in St. John, New Brunswick. I'm here with Rainbow Fight from the Newfoundland Jam Jams. Rainbow, do you feel any extra pressure as you're facing off against the hometown team, I guess, in the semifinals?
I don't feel it, but I certainly hear it from the crowd. Yeah, it's, I don't know. They're amazing, and we played them 3 times before now, and I think that whatever happens, obviously the team that wins definitely deserves it.
Back in the locker room, when you get back there, what kind of things do you think will be said? Will it be a pep talk, or will it be trying to find a way to get past the home team? Or
I think we try to avoid pep talks because we get too peppy, so we usually have a breather, we try to calm it down. We need to come out and play a smart game, but at the end of the day, this tournament is our entire home season. So this is the most games we've ever played in one weekend ever. So I'm happy with however we do. 3rd place is phenomenal. So.
All right, and lastly, do you think there's anything specific that you guys need to come back out and do to get the win here?
I think we need to play smart and keep it clean.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Slay of Fundy from the LBR in St. John, New Brunswick. Hello and welcome back once again to the LBR in St. John, New Brunswick for the Slay of Fundy tournament. One of our reporters from Rogers TV, Andre Arsenault, got a chance to catch up with the Fog City Rollers, and he has a small story on that.
Hi, I'm Sparkles Faztastic, and this is my custom helmet. I've done art just about all my life and envisioned one thing, ended up doing another, and yeah, this is just kind of the outcome of it. This is actually just my own design. I usually sketch it out first before I even put it onto a helmet, and then look up references and everything too, and then it just starts to come together quickly. I don't know, I could definitely see myself doing this as a job. It is a bit of a process. You have to think it through before you do it because it's going to be stuck on your helmet once it's there. Once you add like the protective coating and everything. For the epoxy, which is the protection that I put on it, it takes a couple of days because you have to let each coat dry. I know that what I put on it is like rock solid. Unless somebody booted this with their skates several times, it won't chip. I'm thinking my next one, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm still thinking a dragon, but more color. I'd like to do a lot more colors because it was hard for the first bit to do color, but now I have an airbrush.
Aside from the aesthetic part, once you've skated for a while, most people start switching up their wheels, depending on what surface you're on. Some floors are grippier than others. If you're a jammer, you want to have wheels that will maximize speed. Elbow pads, knee pads, you definitely want to switch those up depending on your style of skating, I guess, is really what it comes down to. The fun thing about derby is that you get to have an alter ego. You get to have this, you know, I'm a shopkeep by day, but I'm right or wrong by night. So you get to play that up a lot. And some of the girls really like to do a lot of face makeup, but also, you know, you get to wear, I guess, what we call them boutfits. So your costumes, your socks, your tutus, you know, t-shirts with different sayings, different logos. Really, it's to accentuate the character that you are, the person that you become on the track.
We will be right back with more Roller Girls Out East. Welcome back. The current score is Fog City Rollers 96 and the Jam Jams 26. Now down to one of our commentators, Ian McKillum, for some highlights.
Welcome back here to the Sleigh of Fundy here at the LBR in St. John, brought to you by Fog City Rollers and the Roller Derby Association of Canada. Now 96-29 after one half of play for the Shipyard Sirens. And now we're going to take a look at some of those first half highlights. So now you see that's Nessa Quick, the jammer for the Shipyard Sirens, just making a nice move to the outside. And there you see that was Rainbow Fight going up against Chill and Villain and really just not letting her get by at all. Some great contact from both teams. And there you see really just moving back to the inside of the track and not letting her get by at all. She should get called for a penalty there. And there you see Molly Millions, really great wall blocking as she just got pummeled over and couldn't make that move to the inside or put up points. Here you see later just a great tiptoe around, some great moves, and then swung all the way around to score some points and waving off the jam. So a great first half from the Shipyard Sirens. They now lead it over the Jam Jams from Newfoundland, 96-29. The Jam Jams are definitely going to have to step things up here in the second half if they're going to have a chance on keeping their season going. Of course, the winner of this one will play in the championship game at 6 o'clock against the Lumber Smacks from Moncton. You see the officials meeting at the center of the track, getting ready to begin this one. A very low-scoring first half, especially for the Jam Jams. And as you mentioned, we saw lots of short jams really being...
A lot of short jams in the first half. We'll see what happens in the next half. The refs right now are talking, making sure that they're all copacetic. They're making sure that every call that they saw in the first half is accurate. And watch out for this half, because it's going to be super tight and extremely important.
Important indeed. The winner of this one moves on to the championship game back here at LBR at 6 o'clock tonight, 96-29. We are ready for another 30 minutes of roller derby here on Rogers TV. Fancy Nancy will be going up against Bashley Banks, and we saw Bashley Banks as the jammer in one of the last jams of the first half. It was her first time, and she did an excellent job. She put up some of the only jams points.
Shipyard Sirens are going to have quite the time getting through, because they have 2 blockers in the box right now, but didn't seem to phase Fancy Nancy at all. She just kind of whizzed past. Oh, she's being sent to the box.
So that will also give Bashley Banks lead jammer. She's now 2 for 2. She has beaten lead jammer in every jam that she's worn the star for. And there you see she moves to the pack again, no problem, and a great opportunity here for the jams to maybe score some points. Bashley Banks, there you see, moves to the inside almost untouched.
Auburn Rubber tried to give her quite the hit and was unsuccessful.
Now she comes from the inside and moves to the outside.
Moves to the outside.
Before taking a big hit there. That one from Auburn Rubber. And of course, Auburn Rubber was the last blocker she had to get past, but Auburn Rubber really doing a good job and preventing her from scoring those points.
Lexi Lasher is giving her a hand as well, making sure that everyone is working with her, kind of a thing.
H2O Knott has left the penalty box back on the track as a blocker for the Sirens. As there you see Bashley Banks plows through her on the inside, moves through and skates up and puts an end to that jam.
The power jam is coming to an end, and that's when the whistles are blown.
So everything kind of ended there in sync, and now we'll see this next jam begin with the penalty box is empty, something that hasn't happened a whole lot this game. But you see the jams definitely put up some good points there, 15 points. They're now at 44. Shipyard Sirens were held in check there. They're still at 96 as the jams put up 15 there on that power jam. It will now be Nessa Quick going up against Cemetery Jane. Nessa Quick tries to use her speed to the outside, and it does work. She is declared lead jammer.
Absolutely lead jammer.
And Cemetery Jane doesn't exactly agree with the call from the referee, but
she is not looking impressed, and she cut the track, so she is being sent back into the box.
So now it gives Nessa Quick, a very good jammer, a chance to put up major points for the Shipyard Sirens. And you can see their
Shipyard Sirens are trying to set up their canards, and jams are trying to destroy that at the same time.
See that shot of Cemetery Jane, not impressed being in the penalty box, and Nessa Quick has to be impressed with that. A great move there. All blockers on the track now for both teams. Nessa Quick here, you see she comes up slowly, tries to push through that inside blocker and brings 2 down with her. She hits the ground, gets back up, and sprints and gets through. But that will not count as any points. She made an illegal pass there.
She got 4 points for that, actually. She just got a minor, that's all. And now she's going to try to move that wall. It would be great if her team did the hinge, which I think they're going to try to do now. There we go.
And there they pick up the work, and it allows Nessa Quick to move through and score another 5 points. And she puts an end.
And she calls it off. Just as she goes past Cemetery Jane, who's standing at the in the box, she's off.
Of course, you could see Cemetery Jane was not happy with being called for that penalty.
Not impressed face, that's for sure.
It's now 1:15-49. Right after the jams start to catch up, the Shipyard Sirens respond right back and restore that big advantage.
Let's see the fight that Rainbow puts up against Chillin' Villain.
And you can bet Rainbow Fight has been putting up quite a fight here.
Oh yeah.
We saw that in the first half. And now the jam has begun. Jammers yet to receive the whistle. Chillin' Villain and Rainbow Fight ready to go. Rainbow Fight, of course, we see she does it not only as a jammer, but as a blocker as well. She does a great job on both ends.
Absolutely, and the blockers are taking their time, trying to eat up some time on the clock.
Of course, the penalty box is empty.
They're
Now
just
30 seconds into the jam.
they're just playing the clock. They want to keep the score pro sirens, right? So they're just trying to make sure that everyone
And
is
you can definitely see the sirens really trying to run out the clock and
absolutely.
come down as fast as possible. We definitely see they did a good job with that in the first half.
They're bridging right now. They're doing a really good job. They're making sure that that clock is going to be run as much as possible.
Already a minute of the jam.
Half of the jam is up.
And finally, with 57 seconds left, Rainbow Fight gets out to a slight advantage, then moves to the inside, and a big wipe out there on the outside. Manages to recover, but does not get lead jammer. Chillin' Villain still trying to move through. She's stuck behind 2 blockers. Now she gets a chance to move to the inside, and she does it successfully. She's lead jammer.
Lead jammer. If she was smart, she'd call it off, which she does.
So you see a jam that lasted quite a long time, but not a lot happens. No points. 1 point was scored for the Jams. It's now 115 to 50. The squad from Newfoundland has now reached the 50-point mark. Molly Millions will once again go up against Rainbow Fight. When we've seen Rainbow Fight come out there wearing the star on her helmet, we've seen her
as the pivot. We've seen her as a blocker. She's doing an amazing job in every single position. She's well-rounded.
Even as jammer, she's had to done it for a few consecutive jams, but
absolutely
doesn't phase her at all. She's done an excellent job today.
Absolutely. Let's see. Looks like they're trying to make sure that the officials, the non-skating officials, are on the same page as the refs right now. Just doing a quick tally, making sure all the points are points and all the penalties are accurate, making sure that there's not any fourth penalty or fourth minor. If they get 4 minors, they move into a major and they have to go sit in the box.
And of course, penalties are important to watch in a tournament like this, because if you get an ejection, then you're done for the weekend.
You have 7 majors before you get ejected for the game.
So of course, a very important thing to watch. You see the officials talking things over.
Keep your eye on calling you out. I believe he is the head ref of this game. You can see the Derby love. Everyone's talking back and forth. That's the thing. This is just a game. It's all in good fun. No one actually hates each other. I think that's a stereotype that everyone's like, oh,
and
Derby.
you can definitely tell the way the girls, they talk to each other and they skate, that it's really just a thing that they love to do. They have fun doing it.
It's a very strong passion.
So now you see Rainbow Fight puts up a good fight, gets bumped, and works her way through 2 blockers. And you see it's going to be Rainbow Fight
Molly
not
Millions
getting
is
to clear.
trying to work her way through the pack. She got knocked out.
So Molly Millions got to clear Reed Jammer, and a very quick jam there. As soon as she got ahead, she got knocked out and caused her to put an end to that jam.
Pretty much immediately.
See here on the replay, taking a big hit from Rainbow Fight. That's right after she got the lead jammer position, and a good move to call it off.
Absolutely.
Now it will be Fancy Nancy coming in for Molly Millions. Rainbow Fight still behind the jammer line for the jams. And Rainbow Fight once again really knows how to work her way through the pack. She tries to use the outside here, takes a few bumps and gets through cleanly. She is lead jammer.
Absolutely. Fancy Nancy takes quite the hit, and Rainbow Fight's calling it off from the ground. She's not even standing up for that.
And really impressive move there from Fancy Nancy. That slow start didn't phase her at all. She moved right through Rainbow Fight. And
it takes a lot to knock down Rainbow Fight, and she did it.
Very impressive. And
look at that.
There you see just center to the ground and even center to the bench. And now it would be Bashley Banks going up against Nessa Quick. Bashley Banks, we have not seen her as jammer too many times, but she has done an excellent job. So as Nessa Quick, who is very quick. And there you see she gets off to a quick start, try and move to the middle of the pack, then moves back to the inside, then moves around a few blockers, and she is lead jammer.
Lead jammer. We'll see what Bashley does about this. Oh.
And with Bashley Banks shortly behind her, that jam just lasts
Hold
about
off.
17 seconds.
More quick jams, making sure that they don't get any more points.